the one, the only, Benzion Land. Good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube Daily Double. Today we're doing Maseches Eiruvin, Perek Tet, Mishnayos Beis and Gimel. Mishnah Beis states, Gag Gadol Samach L'Katan. Let's say you have an apartment building or something like that, and some of the houses share, have one roof, and some of the residences have a smaller roof next to it. Hagadol mutar v'hakatan aser. Now, the smaller one opens up into the bigger one. That means that the bigger one has walls extending on each side of the katan. So therefore, if they didn't make an eruv together, right, we said that gagos would be aser. If you don't make an eruv, you can't carry from one to the other. However, the gadol would be mutar to carry into the katan, even if they make an eruv, because it's considered a pesach, right? Since it has walls on each side that extend past the katan, right? Imagine this is the katan, and here, this is the katan over here, and then you have a wall over here, and a wall over here, and then you make like a box like that. So the gadol, this is a pesach over here, so the katan is really part of the gadol. However, the katan, right, if you look at the katan's perspective, to go into the gadol, right, the gadol is not a pesach. It's a completely new area, so you can't go in there unless you make an area. Similarly, you have a big chutzner, not about a chutzner, a yard, not a gag. Shenefer tzalaktana, right? That exactly the same thing. Where they even show a picture over here. You can see the picture over here. Here you see on the bottom of the picture over there. So you have one chutzner going into a smaller one. A bigger one, I'm sorry. The same reasoning over here, right? From the gadol's perspective, it's like a small enclave, a small entrance, a closet of the big one. However, of this, right? It's a closet for the big one, but the katan can't go into the gadol because that's a totally new area. Let's say you have a chatzar on Shabbos, right? It only had a pesach, let's say a doorway to get to Rosh Hashanah, and then the wall fell down in the middle, and it's bigger than 10 amos. Going to Sharabah. Rebbe says, now it's considered part, it becomes subsumed in the Rosh Hashanah. So if you carry from the Chatzar to your house, right, or from your house to the Chatzar, you're chayiv. It's now part of Rosh Hashanah. It's carrying Rosh Hashanah. Very serious. They say no. We talk about Rosh Hashanah, l'tocha pater. The Rabbanan say no, that since at the beginning of Shabbos it was a Shayachid, right? It wasn't part of the Shorabim. Even now that it's part of the Shorabim, it's not more than a Carmelist. It's still a separate area. Most people don't pass through that area, so therefore it's considered to be a Carmelist. And if you carried from the Shayachid to the Carmelist, it would be Asr Mid Rabbanan. Similarly, from the Carmelist to Shorabim, it would be Asr Mid Rabbanan. Gimel, and that's how we pass it. Gimel Chatzar Shenifrat Tzal Shorabim Mishtei Ruchos Sehar. Let's say you have a house, right, or a chutzner, and it gets a hole in the corner, in the Karen Zavis, in the corner of two walls, right? Normally we said if it's in one wall, it has to be bigger than 10 amos. Here, it's less than 10 amos, but normally the reason less than 10 amos is okay is because it's like a pesach, it's like a doorway, right? It's a separate rishus, but no one uses the corner of a chatzar as a pesach. It's a breach, right? Let's say you have a house, and outside the house there's a rabim, and it gets somehow a corner in the corner of the house, and one of the corners of the house it gets a hole, so you can get out. It's not considered a pesach; it's a pirza, right? It's a breach. Similarly, a mavoy that had a korah or lechi, in order to matir it to carry into the mavoy, shouldn't carry from the mavoy to a rabim. Mutar Bosa Shabbos. If these things happened, the breaches happened, or the korah or lechi were taken away on Shabbos, the beginning of Shabbos, the Ben Hashmasha that was there, and now it's not. So it's mutar that Shabbos. That's Asr L'Asad Love. Next Shabbos is Asr, Divrei Yehuda. Because at Ben Hashmasha was okay, right? Again, these things are only heker, they're abanan, right? A korah or lechi is just to make sure you don't carry Shiziyach Shama, a reminder, right? Rabbi Yossi Omer, Imutar Los Shabbos, Mutar Los Lavo, Imasur Los Lavo, Asur Los Shabbos. He says no. Basically, it's a fancy way of saying no. That the fact that now there's a breach in the Chatzar, or there's no Korah or Lechi, just like you can't use it next Shabbos, you also can't use it this Shabbos, because presently it's a problem. There's no hecker. You might carry after Shachar Sharabim. And similarly, if there's a breach in the Chatzar, right, now the Chatzar, you can't carry, even if you made an Eiruvin Chatzar, you can't carry from your house to that Chatzar anymore, because there's no hecker anymore. You might carry right away. There's a breach, you might carry into Sharabim from the Chatzar, which is a problem, right, of Hotzah, Midoraisa. Now, the Rav Bar Tanura knows that this is different than Eiruvin Chatzeros. For example, if you had Eiruvin Chatzeros that was valid, let's say you had bread that you set up, grogeris for each person on Ben Hashmashos, then some of it was eaten on Shabbos, even though it's only valid for part of the Shabbos, it's valid the rest of the Shabbos, and that the halacha is it is valid the rest of the Shabbos. We paskin here like Rabbi Yossi is not valid in these cases. I will explain the difference, Iyam and Tzion, coming up next.